Alright, this is a little bit of an update on my testing. One of my recent test videos, I flew 2S batteries on this tiny cart build-up that I did a few months ago. The only changes I've made, I took about 4 grams out of it. I went with a little lighter weight VTX antenna, and I got rid of the XM Plus tubes and just buried the wires underneath the padding here, so save a little bit of weight there. What we're going to do today is I did test a bunch of my 3S batteries. I got a Tattoo 450, an RDQ 450 and 550, a Tattoo 650, and then this HV RDQ 850. Now I had 4 of these that I tested to see how consistent they were, and I think I had 3 of these Tattoo 650s that I tested just to see how consistent they were. So let me show you the results. It's pretty interesting. Alright, last time I showed this chart, you can tell I got my tiny cart 2S. I got a list of batteries. These were all pretty much HV ones that I tested with the 2S configuration. Gave the all-up weight with this tiny cart, and then I measured the throttle setting at 30 seconds, what percentages on the stick, how many amps I was being pulled. Read that through the heads-up display on the goggles. And what my time was when I was depleted at 3.4 volts per cell, measured how many milliamp hours were used, and from that coming up with which batteries were using what percent of its rating. So 90%, so 768 of the 850 was being used, and so this basically gives you a quality rating on the pack itself. The higher the number, the better it is. Then there's some metrics here for how many seconds per gram of all up weight, and that it turned out in this particular test this Kodar 850 HV was the winner. Gave me the best flight time, best percent of rating, and the best all-up weight seconds per gram. So I did the same thing with the tiny cart using some 3S batteries. And as I mentioned, I have 4 of these Tattoo 450s, an RDQ 450, an RDQ 550. All of these are just standard. They're not HVs. I had 3 of the 650 Tattoos and 1 850 HV. Then the key thing here is the weights. The one interesting was with this high capacity HV coming in at only 52 grams. You know, I had a low C rating, lowest C rating, which means you're not really going to get that punch out power necessarily, but if you're doing cinematic cruising, you don't really need a high C rating battery. So this looked like a pretty attractive thing to test. So I did the similar thing that I did up here. Got the all-up weights, throttle setting, and you can tell, being that it's a 3S battery, you're going to be using a lower throttle setting because you got another 4+ volts there to start with. Your current is going to be down because you got more volts and less amps, so that's actually less stress on the ESCs, so less losses. The losses are a function of the current, so the rule is it's I squared R, so any resistance in the system is going to be multiplied by twice the amp rating. So lower the amps, the better, the less losses you're going to have. You'll result in better results. And just going through the testing here, I was a little bit disappointed. I wasn't getting too many of them until I got up to the 650 range here. The Tattoo 650 is giving about 4.5 minutes, but the real standout one was the 850 HV RDQ one. Gave 5 minutes 50 seconds before the voltage was down to 3.4 volts per cell. And going across here, you can tell the most efficient one was one of these Tattoos. It's kind of odd. The first 3 Tattoo packs I tested at the 450 level all came in within a few seconds, but the last one, for some reason, gave me another half a minute. Not sure why, but it did. And then, so that one did pretty well. But the overall winner for seconds per gram all-up weight was this last one here. So I would say if you're doing something in this all-up weight range, including the battery and this, 150, 165 all of weight category, that this is a pretty attractive pack for cinematic kind of cruising, and it's reasonably cheap. There are some other options, like there's these Kodar 650, 730, 850. They're again down in this high 40s, low 50s, but except this, surprisingly, the 3S 850, which did good up here, weighs quite a bit more than the HV 850 from RDQ. So this is kind of the sweet spot one right there. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. Have a good day.